Hello, welcome to my class. Hello, this is Teacher Addie. Let's learn together, dive into new horizons. Here, our subject for today is all about music and arts. Here, our topic is all about the traditional or local folk music common to the Philippines and Southeast Asia. For week 2, the content standards, the learner demonstrates understanding of the conventional local folk music and arts common to the Philippines and selected Southeast Asian countries, including the subjects, themes, concept, mediums, processes, techniques, and/or practices. And for our performance standards, it states here that the learners incorporate characteristics of selected Philippines and Southeast Asian, traditional or folk music, and art in their creative work using conventional, contemporary, and emerging concept, processes, techniques, and/or practices in music and arts. And for the learning competencies, explain similarities within the Philippine regions and with selected Southeast Asian countries in terms of local subjects, themes, and mediums influenced by the concept, processes, techniques, and/or practices. And for the learning objectives, in particular, the student should be able to first, discuss the shared attributes of the Panay Bukidnon bamboo musical instrument and Indonesia's gamelan or instrumental music, respectively. And the second one, describe the similarities and differences of Panay Bukidnon's and Indonesia's music culture. And to proceed with our main topic, entitled Instrumental Music of Panay Bukidnon's bamboo musical instrument with Indonesia's gamelan. Now let's move. Okay, but first we're going to unlock the content vocabulary. Here we have 4 terms. To begin with, we have the binanog. Here, binanog is an indigenous Philippines that features the movement of an eagle or hawk and synchronizes the pulsating movements of the feet and the hands of the lead and follow dancers. This specific type of binanog dance comes from the Panay Bukidnon indigenous community in Panay Island or in Western Visayas, Philippines, according to Garcia 2018. Ang isang binanog daw po na term is it is an indigenous dance. And ang movement po dito is about eagle dance. And now let's move on to the example. Here, that is an example of the binanog dance. Ayan. And for the second term, we have the gamelan. Gamelan is defined as an orchestra made up of set of instruments from Java Valley, Indonesia, and is considered as an integral part of the country's culture. Yung gamelan po, yan yung composition or it is also known as orchestra kung saan binubuo siya ng iba't ibang klase ng instrument at nanggaling siya sa Java or Bali, Indonesia. Doon po ang kanyang origination. This is the example of gamelan. As you can see, there are different instruments. We will going to tackle that later on. Okay, for the third term, we have the Southeast Asia. For its definition, it states here that it is one of the most culturally diverse regions of the world with different languages and ethnicities, but with overwhelming convergences and divergences in terms of culture and tradition. Yes, that's true because it is very vibrant with its culture. Here in Southeast Asia, it's very vibrant, because of its culture, languages, and ethnicities. Nagre-reflect yung itong rich history niya wherein there is many interaction, migrants, and trade, and also the region is home to several distinct cultural groups, each with its own languages, customs, and traditions. For the next term, ayan. But before that, this is an example of the Southeast Asia. So here we have the gamelan. Ayan. So these are the people behind it. Yan. So here that is an example of a video about it. And so here, the performer dun sa previous video clip, I did not let you show, but I will put it on the description below. So the woman there is Penny Kanjarini, an accomplished composer, educator, and one of the few female contemporary vocalists performing the pasenden. Kapag sinabi po nating pasenden, it is a female soloist style of singing. Ayan. So, ito po ay matatagpuan sa Indonesian Gamelan tradition, wherein Penny Rini is also a lecturer in the Department of Karawitan and a doctoral candidate for the creation of music art at the Indonesian Institute of the Arts, Surakarta, and Penny is the executive director of the Javanese Gamelan, Sintana Art Music Production, and the Hagat Sintana Art Foundation. So here, this is Penny, pangalan niyo ulit? So this is Penny Kanjarini. Ayan. So here, Panay Bukidnon bamboo musical instrument with Indonesia's gamelan. Ayan. If Sulakan is performed by the dalang or the dalang, a pasinden also sings with the gamelan. Ayan. So ito yung link ng video before the picture or description kanina ni Penny Rini. Ayan. So here, let's move on to the different types of the bamboo musical instruments. So here, first, the Panay Bukidnon learn music from the early childhood. It's part of their social and cultural life, making significant personal or communal events such as birth, feasts, religious activities, weddings, and other milestones. Because music is deeply interwoven in their culture, the Panay Bukidnon also accumulated numerous traditional instruments. These instruments are usually made of bamboo and played during rituals or celebrations like their binanog or courtship dance. So that is information in the National Museum of the Philippines in Iloilo around the year 2022. Ayan. So here, to learn more about the bamboo instrument of the Panay Bukidnon, from which a description of the bamboo. So here is the link, ayan. And to the following slides, I will show you the different bamboo instrument of the Panay Bukidnon. So let's begin with the tikumbo, ayan. Kapag sinabi po nating tikumbo, ayan, isa po siyang percussion instrument, ayan. So it is stated here that tikumbo is a percussion and chordophone made of kawayan, a bamboo plant variety characterized by having node needles. This is played by tapping one or two fingers on the bamboo lid. This is alternated by strumming the string, which was etched out from the body of the bamboo. And next is we have the pangmitya, or the dampening the sound, is done by closing the hole on one side of the bamboo to very low and high pitches. Ayan. So that is the example of the tikumbo. So this tikumbo serves as a means of communication and expression which connect people through music and shared cultural practices. So let's move on to the next example. So here we have the suganggang. Ayan. It is defined that suganggang is a buzzer struck on the palm of a hand. This is made up of bulo, ayan, a bamboo plant variety relatively smaller than kawayan. This one does not have needles. The hole on the end is where the pangmidya is done using the thumb so as to vary low and high relative pitches. So that is the example of the suganggang. So under the suganggang, yes, we know that it is part of the traditional musical instrument. It is also associated with the indigenous people, wherein this is played by striking or tapping, and it is not only serve as a musical instrument but also a symbol of the rich cultural tradition of the Filipino people. And now let's proceed with the next example. Ayan. So we have the litkit, wherein litkit is a two-string bowed instrument. So this instrument is made of bulo. Ayan. So here you have also the abaca hemp finely braided is used as a string. It is mainly a melodic instrument. All through rhythmic patterns from the words or phrases are also employed. So ang tawag po or gamit nila sa string ng litkit is the abaca. Ayan. So, ginagamit po yan as a chordophone. Ayan. Or in other usage, or it can be found in, especially in the regions of Cordillera. It is part of the lute family and is known for its unique sound and cultural significance. Ayan. It is not only instrument but also a vital part of the cultural heritage of this community that use it, reflecting their history and the artistic expressions. So now let's move on with the tulali. Ayan. When we say tulali, it is a bamboo flute made of bagakay, or one of the smallest bamboo varieties. Air is blown through bamboo opening encircled by a banana leaf. It is tuned according to a pentatonic scale, played on 4 holes, 1 found below and 3 on the top of the bamboo tube. The gap between 2 holes is measured by the maker's 2 fingers. So that is the tulali, or in other definition or term, it is. So for the tulali, it has its cultural importance and social role. So for the cultural, it has a cultural expression wherein it is used to express cultural stories, values, and emotions. Ayan, we also have the musical tradition, its heritage, and the social role on how the community bond, and the ritual and spiritual use for its ceremonial context such as the wedding, harvest festival, and other significant events. And now let's proceed to the subing. Ayan. Subing is the Joe's harp. Ayan. Or it is also known as part of the aerophone family. So for the subing, it is a traditional instrument from the Philippines wherein it is a type of bamboo flute, and it is often linked to storytelling, allowing musicians to convey narrative, emotion, and cultural values through music. And now let's proceed to the Panay Bukidnon bamboo instruments and gamelan. So here we have the gamelan. So gamelan is a kind of musical ensemble of Indonesia, typically featuring a variety of instruments such as the metallophones, xylophone, drums, and gongs. Ayan, bamboo flutes, bowed and plucked strings, and vocalists may also be included. The term refers more to the set of instruments than the players of those instruments. A gamelan as a set of instruments is a distinctly entity built and tuned to stay together. Instruments from different gamelan are not interchangeable. So when we say gamelan, it talks about the instrument, not the person who played the instrument. And gamelan has a many composition of different instrument, and no any two type or two piece of instrument per type is being used. So here we have another definition. In Indonesia, gamelan usually accompanies dance, wine puppet performances, or rituals and ceremonies. Typically, the gamelan players will be familiar with dance moves and poetry, while the dancers are able to play in the ensemble. In the West, gamelan orchestras often perform in a concert setting. The New World, from the New World's Encyclopedia in the year 2022. So it is dance for different events. So gamelan music defined as the built-in layers. At its center is the basic melody or the core melody. So ang center daw po ng gamelan is the core melody, or also known as the balungan. Ayan again, balungan. that is the center. Further layers, including the singing and vocal pieces, elaborate upon this melody in certain ways, but the notes of each layer of music relate to the balungan and generally coincide at the ends of their phrases. Ayan, ang tawag po sa end phrases nila ay the sile, which is a Javanese term. There is also a set of instruments which delineate a colotomic structure, usually ending in the stroke of the largest gong, or the World Encyclopedia of 2022. And next, here, so there is a wide variety of gamelan ensembles, distinguished by their collection of instruments and use of voice, tunings, repertoire, style, and cultural context in general. So there are no two gamelan ensembles are the same. So in those that arose in prestigious courts are often considered to have their own style. Certain styles may also be shared by nearby ensembles leading to a regional style. So yun po, walang nauulit na instrument as what I said a while ago. So gamelan are found in the Indonesian island of Java, Madura, Bali, and Lombok in a wide variety of ensembles, sizes, and formations. Ayan. The additions of gamelan-like ensembles, a well-known example of which is the kulintang, sometimes gong chime ensembles by the ethnomusicologists also exist in the Philippines and surnamed due to immigration, trade, or diplomacy. Ayan. So that is the places where gamelan are being found. So Java, Madura, Bali, and Lombok. And one example from the gamelan instrument is the kulintang or the gongkaim ensembles. So all the gamelan ensembles sometimes include solo and choral voices, black and or bowed string and wind instrument. They are most notable for their large number of metal percussion instruments according to the New World Encyclopedia of the year 2022. So here we have for the metallophones. Ayan, we have the saron. So one example is the saron. So ang saron po is typically consists of 7 bronze bars placed on top of a resonating frame, ayan, or rangkak. It is usually about 20 cm 8-inch high and is played on the FB or by separated performer. The sarons are stuck with a mallet or tabu in the right hand. Typically, the striking mallet is angled to the right to produce a fuller sound. So here, ang tawag po sa mallet na on the right hand is the tabu. Ayan. So, ang pag-play po dito is yung pag-strike sa mga bronze bars. Ayan. So here we have the dimong and sarong barong, generally use a wooden mallet, while the pecking mallet is made of water buffalo horn, which gives a shriller sound. The left hand, meanwhile, is used to dampen the previous note by grasping the key in order to prevent a muddy sound. On repeated notes, the note is usually dampened half a beat before it is struck again. Ayan. So that is an example of the saron. Ayan, saron. So as we count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 metal bars. Ayan. So next, we have the cradled gongs. So for the cradled gongs, we have the bonang. Ang sabi po dito sa bonang, it is a collection of small gongs or sometimes called as kettles or pads. So maliliit po siyang mga gongs. Ayan. So here, we have the padded stick or what we call the tabu. And 2 or 3 types. We have the bonang paneros, and the bonang barong. If you say bonang paneros, it has the fastest rhythm, and the bonang barong has its important instrument. Ayan. That is the example of the then po ang ating example for the bonang. Ayan. Small, maliliit lang siya. Now let's proceed with the hanging gongs. And for the hanging gongs, we have the kimpol, which is a type of hanging gong used in Indonesian gamelan. It is often placed with a gong suwokan and gong ageng hanging on a single rack at the back of the gamelan, and these instruments are often played by the same player with the same mallets. Ayan. So, isa siyang mga example ng hanging gong is the kempol. Ayan. So, the appropriate kempol depends on the balungan, the patent mode, and the other considerations. The gong ageng, ayan, ngoko, gong ageng, and gong suwokan. Kapag sinabi po natin gong ageng, it is used to mark larger groups, while the gong sumukan naman, gong suwokan is for the smaller group. Ayan. So, that is the example of the, yan yung example ng hanging gong, which is the kempol. Now, let's proceed with the gambang. Ayan. Kapag sinabi natin gambang, here, it is a xylophone-like instrument similar to saron, but with wooden boards instead of metal ones. Ayan. So, here, it has 17 to 21 keys. So, parang pareha siya sa saron, but saron only has 7 bars, but for gambang, it has 17 to 21 keys. Ayan. So, here, in Javanese wayang, it is used by itself to accompany the dalang in certain chants. Ayan, ginagamit siya sa pag-chants. Ayan. Kasi it is like a xylophone-like instrument. So, that is an example. It has 17 to 21 keys. Ayan. And here, we have lastly the drums or the kendang. Ayan. Kapag sinabi po natin here na kendang, it is a primary drum used in the gamelan sa most of Java and Bali as well as various kalintang ensembles. So, ito po ay isang klase ng drum na kung saan matatagpuan sa mga bansa ng Malaysia, Brunei, and sa Southern Philippines. So, here, we have the gamelan surakarta. So, merong 4 na sizes. We have the kendang ginting, kendang siblong, kendang batangan, and the kendang kitipong. When we say kendang ginting, it is the largest kendang. Ayan. And kendang siblon is a medium-sized drum. And the kendang batangan or kendang bawayang is a medium size. And the last one, we have the kendang kitipong. When we say kendang kitipong, it is the smallest kendang. Ayan. So, kendang is usually the function of keeping the tempo. Ayan. Changing or signaling. Ayan. For the drums. So, that is the example of the different drums. Ayan, drums. So, that is all for our lesson. And for your activity, number 2 in the music and arts, we're going to have a compare and contrast using a Venn diagram. So here, you're going to compare and contrast the Panay Bukidnon bamboo musical instrument to the Indonesian Gamelan in terms of physical appearance, purpose or function, and performances. So that is your activity. And that is all for today's lesson. I hope you gain more learning about this subject in the music and arts. Thank you and goodbye. God bless everyone. Goodbye. See you on our next lesson. Goodbye.